Hello everyone, number one sarcasm. Welcome back to Doom 2016. We're on level 4, Argent Facility. I honestly found this one a little bit lackluster. I thought there would be more. There was nothing too surprising and nothing that really stood as a hurdle. Um, I'm expecting, hopefully, the next level will give me a bit more of a challenge, but I know there's a lot more to. There's a few more enemies introduced in the next level. Um, yeah, I don't know. Wasn't much to it. I did spend a little bit of time just running back and forth trying to find collectibles, and I still don't want to listen to Hayden talk. Um, I did discover though, I've been living under a rock for the whole time I've had this PlayStation, because I forgot that Share Factory was a thing until a couple of days ago, and I went, oh shit. That's gonna make recording these things so much easier to manage. So I have started using that. It's making the whole process, I mean, longer, but I'm much happier with the result as a direct result. There was a lot of menuing and back and forth, just trying to figure out where I am, what I'm doing. I did say I wasn't gonna bother with runes. Apparently, I am gonna bother with runes just because I saw it. Well, why not? I don't know why I ended up hating them as much as I did. I think it was one particular rune on one of my first playthroughs when I first got Doom, and I went, I don't like the runes. I don't want to do the runes. But they don't seem as challenging as I remember them being. This certainly felt a lot easier than I thought it should. I don't know whether it's just in this particular trial I managed to land good hits on the imps, or whether they just are actually taking more damage than they do in the normal level, but nowhere near as hard as I thought it should have been. But and that's it. That was it. That was the rune trial. I thought I was gonna have to repeat. Thought I was gonna have to repeat it a couple of times, but evidently not, I suppose. What I'm really waiting for is, I know that there's summoners in this level, and I remember because the first time I fought a summoner, my very first playthrough, it threw me for a bit of a loop. When I saw a Hell Knight, I'd played Doom 3 long before I'd played this. When I saw a Hell Knight, I went, oh well, that's easy. He's just unload the big heavy things on him. Because it's just a reskinned Baron of Doom 3. And the gameplay loop is really, really easy. It runs at you, you strafe and shoot. The summoner gave me so much more trouble the first time I ever encountered one. Just because it can teleport and it has a lot of fast, long-ranged attacks. And I wasn't quite accustomed to how the game played, but apparently since then I've gotten a lot more used to just how this game plays, moving around. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. But what I think it is? Yes. As we come up to the rocket launcher, I did have to pause it for quite a while here, apparently. Which, yeah, the only reason I was paused, I cut it out, but I was paused for about 20 seconds. I had a moth fly right in front of my face and spent the next 20 seconds trying to get it out of the room. Apparently I also dicked around here for a bit, trying to find the lever to what I can only assume is the classic map for this level. But yeah, I spent about 10 seconds looking around before I went, yeah, I can't be bothered. I don't want to deal with that. So I know where the first two of the game are, but then from Foundry onwards, I wouldn't have a clue where to find the levers, and we just can't be bothered with that. I still love that slippery melee. Watching it back, and just being able to pay attention to what's actually happening when I do have that little melee slip. Realizing that it is targeting the thing that I want to hit. It's more just that somehow I'm off by like the tiniest bit. Has ended an Ultra Nightmare run or two. The Hell Knights are nowhere near as intimidating as I feel they were initially supposed to be. And I'm sure all of the things I come across that I'm just like, that's easy. I'm sure that's just because I've played the game a few times and I know how to deal with it given the tools at my disposal, but it still never gets old, just the basic gameplay loop. I do know from memory that is the Gore Nest, but before I see it. But the reason I'm not going to go directly to it, or that I'm not going to go attack it immediately, is just because I know there's a couple other things around here I want to pick up first that'll just give me a little bit of an edge doing anything from here on out. I couldn't remember exactly where that little weapon drone went. Okay, so he's down in the tunnel. That's easy enough to get to, but I don't want to have you guys jumping around following me while I'm doing that. Just gonna deal with the imps first. It is nice though that, well, I was going to say, it is nice though that the more your arsenal improves and the more you find like the little elite guard chips or the field drones or whatever, playing a nightmare run does almost become trivial sometimes. Like so often I expect it to be harder, especially when I drop down to like minimal health, critical health. And then I get a really easy kill and half my health is back. Oh. It's starting to make me think I should really put in the effort for an Ultra Nightmare run, but it's just getting past the first couple of levels while I've got nothing. Like, no plasma gun, no assault rifle, bugger all upgrades and stuff. And I just seem to falter so often. then this here, I don't have an issue with, because I guess I've got an upgrade for my grenades, so they recharge faster. I've got more weapons that are doing more powerful variations of their own additions, what with upgrades. I will forever hate the Hellraiser. Just my least favorite addition of any kind of enemy in this series. I hate the Hellraiser above all. I mean, the Doom 2 and Doom Eternal with their Pain Elementals, they were pretty shit. I hate the Pain Elemental, but just cannot stand a Hellraiser for some reason. That was really dumb. If I did something like that on an Ultra Nightmare run, I would really crack the shits. That sucks. But it's as simple as just reload the checkpoint at the moment. Rather than wasting my own time, I decide to waste my ammo. Don't know why I use the rocket launcher, but especially when I have grenades, which cost... Grenades cost nothing. Excuse me, I need to go back to bed apparently. So I spent way too long here trying to figure out how to get the toy that is on the walkway literally just above me there. And having now watched it back and seen how the environment changes, I know exactly what I should have done, but before I figured it out, I spent way too much time just in this hallway. And I didn't end up getting it, actually, in the end, because I wasn't paying enough attention. Jumping around here again. I know there's a way up. I remember there being something. I just can't remember what that thing is. But skipping ahead a little bit. Interactions like this. There's, what, 4 imps in the room? And I'll say, there's nothing bad about the first few levels of this game, but compared to the next level, and then from the first trip to Hell onwards, having the majority of the enemy types introduced and having a much wider arsenal, the combat does just get better and better and better. I think it's because I've found a bit of a stride here. I'm doing well, so just fighting little tiny groups of imps is really frustrating. I've selected ammo here as well for the Argent Cell. I did say in a previous video I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go for ammo initially. I was going to go for health and armor, but having more fuel for the chainsaw and having bigger ammo reserves is going to be so helpful if I just end up accidentally running out somehow. Not that I think I will as I get later into the game. I feel like the arsenal should compensate for any kind of lack of ammo. Unlimited doesn't mean it's good though, buddy. I find it strange. He knows exactly who this guy is. Like, Hayden knows exactly who the Doomslayer is. He trying to convince him to stop just for shits and giggles? he knows it's pointless, surely. But going for the other rune trial was also piss easy. I was expecting it to be, I don't know why, I walk into them expecting that they're going to be harder than they are. And in the end, they're really, really simple. Blow up a few barrels, it's nothing. And I mean, the reward for some of them, doesn't always feel great. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna use this one later. But definitely having like extended pickup range from that first rune, I feel is worth it. Checking here, I was going to equip the second one until I realized I can't, because I need to do more runes before I can equip more runes. But the mentality is, if I'm gonna bother equipping them to begin with, I may as well at least try and finish them all and get access to all 3 runes that I can use as quickly as possible. Another Gore Nest, super simple. Just gonna find any health, ammo, armor, whatever we can get that's in the immediate vicinity. Okay. There's nothing really here to note, it's easy. Just an arena. And when you've got big open space like this, it's nice, it's easy. You can move about with very little issue. What I do find I struggle with though is, I think especially in the first couple levels, because some of the fights are really contained in like little areas, tight rooms. When you've got a heap of imps and soldiers, yeah, okay, they're all weak, but they're all ganging up on you at once, and you have very little room to move. So it's a bit of a challenge. And then I know there's a couple of moments later into the game that confine you, and they can be a little bit challenging. Just when you can't move around all the enemies. But really not a lot to note that was a hurdle or anything here. The beauty of grenades, they just clear a hallway like nobody's business.
Demonic breach detected.
This room's got to be one of my favorite just arenas of the whole game. This and probably Vega's whatever, Central Vega Processing, whatever it's called later in the game. I like the blue. Given that like everything else is a mixture of like grey and red. I really like the blue. Like all the metal from the UAC facility, the red fleshy components of like the demons and all that crap like the Gore Nests, and the surface of Mars being red. Just every once in a while you come across like just a very welcome blue. I like how the Gore Nest stands out like a sore thumb amidst the rest of the color palette. Oh, and this fight was not at all what I thought it was going to be. And I'll explain that in a little bit, but it was over before I thought it was before I even thought it had begun. I love the Hell Knight just aggressively running through like the little fodder demons. Knocked over the zombie before I killed it. There's always this where there's one more enemy. There's one last enemy in the arena, and you spend about 5 minutes just running around trying to find this one guy. That was piss easy. All 3 filters gone. This is what I was waiting for from that gore nest a minute ago. I was waiting for the summoner. And like everybody else, I will agree that it is just a very pathetic archvile. It holds nowhere near the same weight as the Archie does, but it's still just an annoying enemy. Mainly because it just ends up darting around the map if you don't take it out immediately.
Selling it to humanity. We balance their hell energy with our science, making it usable and safe. We solved an energy crisis the world had no answer for. It works. You cannot do this.
It works, but it is very clearly not safe. I wonder how much of, or if any at all, the script or story for Eternal, I wonder how much they had done by the time that this came out. Because it would be really funny to think like, Hayden knows who Slayer is. Hayden's one of the fucking Angels guys. If they had the Doom Eternal script and the story figured out, at least that part, then is Hayden actively using Earth as the fuel? No. I can't remember who Hayden works for. He doesn't work for the maker, for the Khan maker, does he? Doesn't matter. I'm sure I'll figure it out when I make my way to Doom Eternal. I think I will jump directly into after this because I'd like to feel a direct comparison. Going from this, which, yeah, gameplay loop I really, really love, to Doom Eternal, which I like. I like that it's so much less reliant on like pickups. I don't know, it just didn't necessarily grab me the same way that this did. And I wonder if Doom Eternal is more popular the way that Doom 2 is more popular than Doom 1. Because I played a lot more of Doom 1 than I ever did of 2. The point I'm only now working on finishing Doom 2. And, you know, fuck the city levels. Anyone who comes to me and honestly says, I enjoy the city levels of Doom 2, I don't believe you. They suck. Or I'm just bad at the game. But, you know, pick your poison. It really was a hard toss-up here. It's like, I have all the ones I want. I'm trying to figure out what I go for that I don't want or feel that I need. We'll go with the stun bomb. We'll see if anything comes of it. And being able to make use of iframes gifted to you while you're doing in a glory kill animation, it's great most of the time. Very rarely have I ever, and I think rarely will I ever, come across a moment where a glory kill gets me killed. Having said that, there's still a hell of a lot of game left to play. I'm willing to bet I'll come across moments where it does kill me, but I think lobbing a grenade and then starting a glory kill animation, it's great. It can really work to your advantage. Was I waiting for the summoner here? It does show up, doesn't it? Yeah, here we go. So this is why they shit me. Because, I mean, the lock-on burst is great. It's a fucking awesome thing. I don't know why I didn't grab the Berserk power-up though. Would have made it a lot easier, but it is very, very frustrating when the summoner teleports away from me and then gets glory killed and I have to watch the stun animation and just sit there knowing I'm not going to make it in time. So it's going to teleport away somewhere else, possibly dealing more damage. First and foremost, they are the priority. I want to get rid of them immediately, every single time.
Our energy production is what you want, then you need only to destroy this last filter, and Argent energy will no longer exist in this solar system.
That's
back at square one.
This is pretty much the level though. There's really nothing else that's gonna happen. I'm at the end. Yeah, surprisingly a lot easier than I thought it would be, but we'll see what happens in the next level, I guess. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the last little bit of discussion. I'll see you all next time.
Well, that's it then. There's nothing else to be done.